What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. Today's positive motivational message is you can't control the things people think and say about you. And you can't let it bother you so long as you know deep down inside who you really are. Nobody knows you better than you. And yes, you can somewhat control the way people think about you by being a good person, by doing good things. Because if you're an asshole, generally people are going to think that you're an asshole. So, yes, it can reflect, you can change people's perspectives about you based on the way you conduct yourself. But sometimes it doesn't really matter. Sometimes you can be the best person, you can do all the good things, you can whatever. And still people will find a way to think negatively about you or speak negatively about you. And ultimately, you can't control that. You can't control what somebody's perspective of you is for whatever reason that they might think or say the things they do. The only thing you can control is how you conduct yourself. So, be a good person. Conduct yourself with grace and just be a good human being. But don't worry about what people think of you. Because if you know inside, if you know to yourself that you're a good person, that you do good things and are kind and generous and what have you, if you know that for yourself, then what does it matter what other people think? You can't control it. And with that, we'll move on into today's episode. It's episode 227 or 28. I don't remember. 220 something of Life's a Garden. Well, yes. Welcome back to another episode. Thank you so much for joining here on the Life's a Garden podcast. If you have not yet, please do us here a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Follow on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. Definitely helps us out, and it is very much appreciated. Let's get started with the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight. Pretty much went exactly the way I expected it to. You got a 27-year-old kid and a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Mike Tyson. Dude looks incredible for 58. I wouldn't fuck with him. Hell no. But I think a lot of people underestimate Jake Paul's ability. I'm not saying he's world champion status. And yeah, it is a little annoying to see him constantly fighting old fighters like Anderson Silva and he fought Ben Askren. Tyron Woodley, him knocking out Tyron Woodley was a big deal. He went the distance with Tommy Fury, he's not a bad fighter. And when you get all these people talking about, it's Mike Tyson. I understand. I get it. The legend. One of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Definitely the scariest fighter of all time. Knocked out so many people so fast. But this isn't Mike Tyson of the 90s. This isn't the same Mike Tyson that you remember. This is not only a guy who is old and aged, but has mentally removed himself from that fighting headspace. He's not like that animal that he used to be. He's calmed down. He's doing his podcast. He's more enlightened. He does mushrooms and shit. So between that and the fact that I think a lot of people I know people hate Jake Paul. Myself included, I'm not a fan. But you can't deny that he has skill. And more importantly, he's young, athletic. He's been training. Like, he trains boxing constantly. The guy knows what he's doing in there, enough to beat a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. And you could just tell, as the fight went on, if Mike was going to win at all, if he had any chance of winning, it was going to be in the first 2 rounds. Once the fight got past that, you could just see him getting gassed. He was tired. He basically was just, fists up the whole time, wasn't really doing a whole lot. I think they said he landed 18 total punches. Couldn't really tell, couldn't hear the audio very well. We went to my brother's house and watched it. Had quite a little party going on there. It was kind of fun. I've always enjoyed doing fights like that. If you're gonna have an event at somebody's house where there's just a bunch of people, it makes it fun, and we had a good time. Now, Netflix has some explaining to do. This was their first major live sporting event, and I've already seen so many complaints about how it started buffering and they lost service, and the same thing happened to us. Right as Mike Tyson started walking out, it starts glitching up. And then for the rest of the fight, the audio was 30 seconds off of the video. Yeah, it was pretty frustrating, to say the least. You'd think they would have put in place the measures to make sure that wouldn't happen. But, what can you can't, that's technology for you, I guess. Everybody logged on for that fight. The second people knew that he was walking, everybody and their mother logged into Netflix. So it just overloaded the system with so many people coming in at the same time. And I'm sure, it's a test run to figure out how to make sure that doesn't happen again, because NFL's doing games on Netflix. Apparently WWE is moving over to Netflix full time. So, can you imagine a WrestleMania on Netflix? That could get a little dicey, don't you think? If a bunch of people logged in at the same time and you're all these, big time wrestling fans. But I think this is going to change the name of the game for live sporting events. I think we're going to see a lot more of these streaming services try to buy in on certain UFC cards, maybe, or think about Prime Video can do it, Hulu, HBO. HBO used to do boxing fights, so it would make sense for them to get involved in that and want to promote other boxing matches. Maybe this might change the whole game when it comes to the landscape of live sporting events. But they got to get those fucking glitches figured out. Figure out how you can have that many people involved at the same time. That many people logging in and watching at the same time. I do have to say, I respect what Jake Paul did in that fight, because around the 5th and 6th round, you could tell Tyson was gassed, and Jake Paul, I keep wanting to say Logan Paul. Jake Paul, he could have turned it up at any moment. He didn't look that exhausted. You could tell there was a time when he could have just unloaded. He could have backed Tyson into the corner. He could have just started throwing heavy shots. He really didn't throw that many heavy shots. Most of the punches he landed weren't that heavy. And you could, once you started seeing Mike Tyson starting to fade a little bit, he could have turned it up, but he didn't. He had the respect for Mike Tyson to not do that. And especially after what happened at the press conference, or at the weigh-ins, when Tyson slapped him, apparently it was because he stepped on his foot. And I saw an old interview with Mike Tyson where he was talking about how his feet are really, sensitive, and something like that, where if somebody were to stomp on his foot, he'd be just done because his feet are so sensitive. And yeah, I guess Jake Paul stepped on his foot, and then that's when he slapped him. But Jake was getting hyped up, he's like, this is personal now. But who knows? Maybe that was just to help sell the fight, right? Because it's all kind of a gimmick. I can't believe they were able to sell out the Cowboys Stadium. That's a huge fucking stadium. First time it's probably been sold out all year. But still, that's an amazing thing for boxing. Nobody really watches boxing that much anymore. There's maybe 3 or 4 big names in boxing that are even worth tuning in for. And they're never fighting each other. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see all these mega fights. Like, I think we had Tyson Fury and Usyk earlier this year. That was a pretty big deal. You got your Canelo Alvarez's. You have like, what's his name? Shit, I don't even know because I don't follow boxing that much. Devin Haney. You guys got guys like that. Ryan Garcia. But it's just not as exciting as MMA. It really isn't. And kudos to them. They made a lot of money. I think it was just a big gimmick. And it worked. People bought in. Everybody I knew was watching the fight. Every Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever I was looking at, everybody was watching this fight, including myself. So they did their job. They did what they needed to do, and they made that money. We also need to discuss who the fuck, what producer, what cameraman, what anybody was thinking having that shot of Mike Tyson's bare ass in the locker room. Mike Tyson's just walking around in his jockstrap, and then they're interviewing him. The thing I noticed first is he leans in and kisses the reporter on the cheek. It's a guy. He says, "Love you, bro." Kisses him on the cheek. Turns around and is just fully cheeked out. What are you doing kissing a guy with your ass hanging out, bro? Why'd they do my guy like that? What producer was like, keep the wide angle on him? What cameraman didn't know that he was dressed that way and didn't decide to pan away or pan towards just the top of his head or something? They did my guy dirty on that one. And what is he doing just walking around in the locker room just cheeks out? That's with a whole bunch of people and cameras around. That just goes to show how much Mike Tyson doesn't give a fuck. So, I was rooting for Mike Tyson, but I had a gut feeling. I knew Jake Paul was going to end up winning. It was pretty straightforward in my mind that that's how it would play out. And like I said, kudos to Jake for actually, having the respect to not just completely destroy an American hero. An American icon, I should say. And then we got the UFC fights tonight. Big UFC fight. Jon Jones versus Stipe Miocic. Super excited about that. This one could go this is going to be a weird one. I mean, Stipe has not fought for 4 years. Jon Jones fought once last year. It's been over a year since Jon Jones last fought. And that fight, it was only 2 minutes of fighting. And before that, he hadn't fought for 3 years. So both these guys have very little ring time spent in the last 4 years. Little to none. Stipe, he's 42, I think. Jon Jones, 36. This is one that, it's, I don't know. I would love to see Stipe pull off the upset. Always loved Stipe. He's the heavyweight GOAT. The most decorated heavyweight champion in UFC history. Then you got Jon Jones, who's arguably the greatest fighter of all time. But Jon Jones really didn't get tested at the heavyweight level in that Cyril Gane fight. Stipe's used to fighting at heavyweight. Same time, Stipe's never fought a guy quite like Jon Jones. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm hoping for a better fight than what we saw last night. Or that we saw in the Jake Paul fight. It's going to be a similar situation. My heart wants Stipe, but my brain says John Jones. So if I'm a betting man, I'm going John Jones. Other fights we got on the night, there's some good ones, man. Let me take a look here. Oh, Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira, great fight. Again, my heart wants Michael Chandler. My brain says Charles Oliveira. I like both these guys, so I'm not really going to pick either of them. I would like to see Michael Chandler get that opportunity. So I kind of hope Michael Chandler wins just for the sake of the future. I like to see what other fights. Maybe he fights Islam. And then, Bo Nickel versus my boy Paul Craig. I'd love to see Paul Craig pull it off, but Bo Nickel's a tough SOB. So I'm pulling for Paul Craig, but, I just don't see that happening. Also on the cards, this is a fight to watch for anybody, although the fights will be over by the time this comes out. Jonathan Martinez and Marcus McGee. Watch for that one to potentially be fight of the night. I think that has fight of the night written all over it. And then Chris Weidman's coming back. Jim Miller's coming back. These are some fun fights to watch. It'll be a good card. I'm excited for it. Oh yeah, before I forget, shout out to the women's fight, the boxing fight. That was incredible. That was easily the best fight of the night that I saw. But yeah, so we got some UFC action. That's gonna be fun. And then also in the realm of fighting, I might as well tell you this. Last week, got to go to the BKFC fights, bare knuckle fighting at the Metra here in Billings. Fun time. Got free tickets because my work sponsored the event, so they got free tickets to the thing. So me and a few of the other coworkers were given free tickets. I go with my buddy Craig. Had a couple other people from work that didn't show up. We're sitting in our seats, really, really great seats. And we run into one of our finance guys. And he's like, yeah, we're sitting down on they got a table on the floor. And it was for managers and like the GM and people like that. The higher-ups were meant to sit at the table. And I think it was Lithia Toyota and Lithia Dodge were supposed to be sharing that table. But none of them showed up. Nobody showed up. My finance guy, Thad is his name. He was given those tickets by one of our managers. And he's like, dude, why don't you guys just come down here and watch the fights? So I was like, well, shit, we might as well try. Why not? So we're walking to go downstairs. And I got 2 beers in my hands, of course. And the guy at the door looks at us and goes, hey, you guys got tickets? Because before Thad said nobody was checking tickets, so they had their tickets, but he said nobody was checking tickets, so they went down there. Sure enough, there was a guy checking tickets when we go, and he's like, you guys got your tickets? And I was like, oh yeah, I just kind of look at both my beers, and he goes, never mind, I recognize you guys from before. And I kind of just was like, okay. Like, yeah, just played it off, play it cool. Yeah, thank you, man, appreciate you remembering us. We definitely weren't here before, but you know what? Sometimes it just pays to look like a normal guy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it just pays to look like a normal dude. And here we are. What else? Oh yeah. So we get down there. We're watching from ringside. Like, how cool was that? And at first I was like thinking those wouldn't have been as good of a view as the seats we had, because we had like, an upper view where we could really see more. No. Ringside is where it's at. You can hear everything. You can see everything just fine. And if for some reason your vision is obstructed, they got big screens there to show you what else is going on as well. So you're not really missing anything. And yeah, so that was exciting. That was fun. Had a really good time. A lot of good fights. A couple good knockouts. Definitely will be going back whenever BKFC comes back. Oh, and I did not realize the featherweight champion for BKFC is from Great Falls. Like, shout out to him. That was cool. I had no idea. And he beat Rivera is his name. Why am I forgetting? But he used to be a UFC fighter. And it was a good fight. Really good fight. Jimmy Rivera. Yeah, that was a fun time. And it was just funny that we got to sneak down onto the floor. It was our company table. Like, those seats were for us, basically. But the people just didn't show up, so we upgraded, essentially. Yeah. Good time. All right. I apologize, folks. I apologize. I'm going to take a quick break because I have to go to the bathroom. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had to take a shit really bad. And have you ever had one of those moments where it's just like, boom, I gotta shit right now? That's what just happened to me. And there was no chance I was going to be able to focus through the rest of this episode trying to hold back that log. Yeah, that was a poop dam ready to burst, brother. Jesus. I've had that a couple times in my life. I've definitely had that a few times in my life but I'll tell you the worst, okay, since we're on the subject. I just got done with a shift at Olive Garden. Me and a bunch of other people we went and had lunch after our shift. We went over to this place, Dos Machos. Doesn't even exist anymore. It's a Mexican restaurant. We go over there for lunch, order our food. We hadn't even gotten our food yet. And we're just sitting there talking, having a conversation. Hits me like a ton of bricks. And I was like, it was that sense, like, I have to go to the bathroom right now. So I was just like, excuse me, you gotta maintain composure. So I'm like, all right, excuse me, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. So I fucking scurry on over to the bathroom. As I'm like pulling my pants down, I shit in my underwear. Got most of it in the toilet, but definitely shit enough into my underwear that I was like, these are not usable. So what do? I take the underwear and just throw them in the trash at Dos Machos. My shitty underwear. And I'm going commando the rest of the day. That sucked. I mean, could you imagine how much worse it could have been, though? Yeah, that was probably the last time I actually shit my pants. So it's been a while. I have a pretty good track record of not defecating myself. But it was getting close over here. You might have seen one live here not live, but recorded here on the show. And you better believe I would not have edited it out. I would have been like, hold on here, folks. All right. Anyway, speaking of pieces of shit, did anybody happen to catch Jimmy Kimmel crying over Donald Trump winning the presidency? I mean, come on. You're a grown fucking man. I get it. Your candidate didn't win. You have different ideas and policy ideas and moral ideas of and you have all these different ideas of who you think Donald Trump is as a person and as a president. I get it, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're fully allowed to have your own opinion and be upset about it. But you're gonna go on national television, your own show, your program, and start bawling like a fucking bitch? I mean, that is the most bitch shit I have seen in a long time. Stephen Colbert, he fucking had some monologue. Seth Meyers, Bill Maher, all these fucking late night talk show guys, Jimmy Fallon, they all had their piece to say. They were all, well, it's a sad day for America, and I'm sure it's a sad day for a lot of you out there. But Jimmy Kimmel was the only one breaking down in tears. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying, and I can kind of agree, The reason Jimmy Kimmel is so upset that Donald Trump is president, like upset to the breaking point of tears, it's because he knows that fucking Epstein list is about to come out. And he's fucking scared for his life. Because there's been plenty of rumor that he was involved in that list. That he had something to do with that list. So, and apparently, I've not seen this at all, but I've heard there's been many celebrities moving to, I'm sure they already had homes in like Europe. A lot of these guys have multiple homes, but Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, apparently these are a couple names that have been floated around as having moved to to Europe. Could just be a coincidence. Maybe they're just vacationing, you know? I don't know. I'm not saying anything in particular. There's a good reason a lot of these politicians didn't want Donald Trump to be in there because, hey, buddy, that Epstein list might be an interesting read. Let's just say that. I don't know. Either way. Either way. I mean, if it was that, if the reason you're getting so upset and worked up because you're afraid of that list coming out, yeah, that's a little understandable why you might be reduced to tears. If it legitimately is just because your candidate didn't get in and the other guy, the big bad guy that you didn't want in, got in, that's why you're crying on national television? Bro, buck up. Man up. This is the same guy that used to host The Man Show. And now he's bawling like a little baby on late night television. Give me a fucking break, dude. Speaking of the Epstein list, did you see the fucking CEO of Abercrombie? This has been a while ago, but the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch just got outed as a pedophile, as a child molester. And which was surprise. First things first. Pause this video, pause this episode, and go Google a picture of this guy. Just pull up a photo of, I don't know his name. I'll even help you out a little bit. CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. Fucking, I can't spell for shit. How do you spell Abercrombie? Well, now they got the new person. I guess it's the former CEO. This guy. Oh my god, bro. What is his name? Mike Jeffries is his name. Dude, I don't know if you can see that. Probably not well enough. Go Google Mike Jeffries. This dude, if you didn't look at that guy and immediately know he was a pedophile, he's the poster child for pedophilia. And he's the CEO of... Wait, hold on a second. Let me get this straight. The CEO of the company that has dudes modeling with... like young men with their shirts off. These jacked, ripped, hot-looking dudes in the store. Sometimes they had like live models in the stores. And like their whole marketing campaign was just hot dudes on a beach, half naked. You're telling me that guy, the brainchild that came up with that promotional platform, was fucking children or young boys? He was taking advantage of teenage boys who were trying to get modeling jobs at Abercrombie and Fitch? No way! It's like, if it looks like a horse and sounds like a horse, hey, like, what are we talking about here? Jesus. Oh, man. Yeah, go check out a picture of that. It's like new pedophiles every week. Fucking or sex traffickers or what have you, you know. P. Diddy's another one. And you know, this kind of goes back a little bit here. Did you ever think to wonder why so many of these celebrities that were theorized, or at least, you know, it was rumored that they had some connection or involvement with just this underground world of whether it's sex trafficking or just dark shit. All these people's names who have been thrown around were campaigning for Kamala Harris, Leo DiCaprio, Jimmy Kimmel, Oprah. Apparently, Oprah got $1 million from the Harris campaign for her endorsement. Beyonce? I mean, I'm not saying Beyonce is involved in anything sketchy, but guess who probably is? Her husband. Did you see this? I saw this really crazy conspiracy that feels... There's something about it that feels like it could be true. You know, I couldn't say... I'm not going to sit here and say it is, but just... That's what conspiracies are, though. The reason... Okay, did you know Beyonce has been thanked more when other people win Grammys? Beyonce has been mentioned or thanked more than God when it comes to Grammy wins. That's crazy. And there's the theory that when Taylor Swift won her Grammy and when Kanye interrupted her and said Beyonce had the greatest music video of all time, and everybody backlashed on Kanye about that, he was actually saving her because she didn't thank Beyonce, because there's some cabal between Jay-Z and Beyonce, like, because Jay-Z is like the Mac Daddy of the music industry, apparently, when it comes, especially when it comes to like hip hop, that side of music. He has a huge power in a lot of that. And so Beyonce being his wife, she's clearly involved in a lot of this shit too. If you don't thank her, you like, or if you don't mention her or something like that, you get fucking, who knows? Who knows what happens to you? Your career dies, you die. I don't know. It's just a conspiracy theory. But you know who was good buddies with Beyonce and Jay-Z? P. Diddy. And that list is going to be coming out soon too. It's going to shake up a lot of shit. I don't know. I've been saying it, and I'll say it again. That list needs to come out. We need to see what the fuck is up with that list. That's all I got to say about that. Yeah, and then Trump started naming his cabinet, cabinet and his advisors and whatnot. That's already begun. I'm super stoked about Robert Kennedy getting to be the. He's in charge of, what is it? It's basically the FDA and the CDC. I think he's going to do some good stuff there. Hopefully we'll have less poisons in our food. Hopefully we can get some shit shaken up a little bit and get some more healthy. Every other country has healthy food, and America does not. And so what the fuck is everybody's talks like, well, America's just, why there's so many other countries better than America. It's like, yeah, well, and then they don't want him to be running the food. Every other country's food is way healthier than ours. It's the constant battle of hypocrisy. But yeah, other than that, I don't really know a whole lot of Trump's cat. The other one I'm excited about, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are co-spearheading a new branch called the Department of I don't know. It's basically the idea is to cut government spending, cut government waste, and it's like the efficiency group, government efficiency, something like that. I'm down for it. I'm here for it. Those are two of the best guys to be involved in that. I'm all about it. Cut government waste. Save us some fucking money. Less government in our lives trying to fucking yank us around and steal all our money. Anyway, I'm so ready to be done talking about politics. It's just, that's the thing that's been going on lately. I'm usually not the guy that likes talk. I don't like talking about it. It's a topic of, that's just kind of going on right now. So, naturally, I kind of gotta talk about it. I'm not really smart when it comes to that shit. It's not something that's in my wheelhouse. So, I always feel dumb talking about it. But, sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes that's the thing that's happening. So, but we'll move on. I talked a lot about it the last couple weeks. We'll move forward. Okay. I want to talk about these Costco guys. And what I want to say is, if I gotta see or hear about these Costco guys one more fucking time, I'm gonna lose my shit. Just like I almost did earlier. I'm gonna lose my shit. For real. Like, here's the thing. There's nothing inherently wrong with what they're doing. It's fairly innocent. Just, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's this dad and his kid. There's these two kids. I guess one of the kids isn't even related. But it's stupid fucking content is what it is. Double chunk chocolate cookie. I eat a chicken bake. We're Costco guys, and we eat chicken bakes. What? That's content? Bro, if this year hasn't woken us up to the fact that this year has been the absolute dumbest as far as what entertains the people. This year has proven that just any dumb fucking thing will entertain the masses of idiots in this world. You're saying the most entertaining faction on the internet right now is double chunk chocolate cookie? The Costco guys. And before that, it was Hawk Tua? These are the people entertaining us? We've lost all sense of what is entertaining. If that's the case. If this is what TikTok and social media side of entertainment is becoming, bro, Trump needs to enact a new task force. He needs to enact a new not even to shut it down, but let's make social media great again. Let's make entertainment great again. Because this shit is just straight up stupid. I mean, I cannot. I'm just thinking about these fucking dorks. Boomer Doom! Boomer Doom! That's so... and then... that's your whole gimmick is you go to Costco. And the thing is, they don't do anything different. It's always the chicken bacon, the cookie, and we sit on the furniture. And it's nothing different. Their content is all the same. But the thing, so apparently this dude, AJ is the dad's name. This dude's been trying to get internet famous for years. Finally, he gets his kid involved. and these fat fucking kids, these sloppy little fucking fat fucks, throws their faces on the camera, and that's what pops. It's these fucking kids are helping make him pop, and then I've seen behind the scenes shit where this guy's like, really like, no, say it like this, like, no, you gotta do it like this. That fucking dude is such a goddamn meathead. I want to kick him right in his fucking neck. Double chunk chocolate pussy. He's a double chunk chocolate pussy is what he is. Double chunk cock and pussy. God, fuck me, dude. Yeah, that guy is a pile of shit. But anyway, I can't stand watching these fucking Costco dudes. And they're on like, they got them on Jimmy Fallon and these late night shows. And then the fucking Hawk Tua girl has a podcast now. She's had like 6 episodes of her podcast. She's already at 150,000 or million subs. I don't know. It can't be 150 million. It might be. Fuck it. I'm going to look it up. Because nothing could be more infuriating than to know that Talk Tua has, where's the subs? $192,000 subs is what it is. I've been doing this fucking podcast for 4.5 years. I got over 220 episodes. You want to know the highest amount of views any one of my videos has had? Like 500. I think we're sitting at like 71 subs. Which is why I ask every time, please subscribe. Are you not entertained? There's zero chance I'm less entertaining than the Hawk Tua girl. I was infatuated with that video. I thought it was hilarious. And like most things that are hilarious, you can only have it shoved down your throat so many times before it's not as funny. And like it's just one of like she's just a country bumpkin southern girl, like super sweet, hot. That doesn't hurt anything. She's definitely hotter than I am. But it's like she said a wild thing that caught fire, and now she's got almost 200,000 subs on a podcast? This bitch has no business being on a microphone. Have you listened to one of these podcasts? They are the most mind-numbing things I've ever seen. Like, I guess it's no different than, like, Jersey Shore or any of these other, like, reality shows where you're watching or listening and you just feel your brain start leaking out of your ears. Like, you're just getting dumber as it's happening. Holy shit. Like, I have nothing against this girl as far as her success and, like, whatever. Like, get your money. Do your thing. But I'm just, like, I'm not even mad at her. Like I said, do your thing. Get your bag. No issues with her as a person on a personal level. My issue comes with the people who allow this stuff to become popular and famous. And these people, the American public or the world public really pushes these morons to stardom. Why the fuck AJ and the Rizzler get to go on Jimmy Fallon and do what? Is beyond my comprehension. What those guys bring to the table is Like, are they entertaining? Not really. They're no more entertaining than a drunk I see on the sidewalk. I get more entertainment from the homeless people in downtown Billings than I do watching that shit. Because it's not even... It's just that it's so dumb. And it's so obviously, like, manufactured. I can't imagine why anybody would think it's entertaining. But somehow, it is. You got these masses of fucking morons out here that are like, this is, like, look at this. You see how funny it is? That's what you think is funny? Or worth consuming? What is happening? This is why we can't have good comedy movies. Because you don't even know what's funny. You don't get funny anymore. Like I said, I loved that Hawk Tuah video. I thought it was hilarious. But, Jesus Christ. Now we're going to give her own show? What is this world becoming? I mean, this isn't really that new. We've definitely... Look at, like, Bad Baby, you know? Although she never really... She kind of stuck to with what worked for her, kind of. She became this viral, you know, sensation on the internet and whatnot, and then goes and be a rapper, but that feels like a different lane, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like right up her alley type of a thing for her to do. But again, it was like, she wasn't a bright fucking... She was no fucking bright member of society. Time outside, I'm on that. Like, she's some fucking street urchin. She's some fucking street whore that got fucking... She was just a bad bitch. Fucking, you know she didn't graduate high school. And yet now she's worth millions of dollars because the dumbasses of America propped her up like she was some incredible personality. And it worked for her. Y'all are the dummies. Y'all are the dummies out there making these people famous. Double chunk chocolate cookie. That's... Fuck you! Fuck you for that! What other dumb fucking thing is gonna make you... I'm just gonna subscribe to the fucking Costco guys. If your brand is that you're the Costco guys, this is just gonna open up a whole new lane. We're the McDonald's guys. Of course that shit is so dumb. We live in Alaska. Of course, blah, blah, blah. We're UPS drivers. Of course we... Dude, stop with that shit. It's so fucking stupid. Like I said, what's going to be the next thing? What's the next lane of stupid entertainment that's going to fucking drown our souls and make us become just this flood of idiots? We've already said social media is making us stupider, and it's clearly like, it's very obvious at this point that it's making people dumber. I full-heartedly subscribe to that notion. But you know what is entertaining? I'll move on. You know what actually does entertain me and what I really, really fucking want to just consume myself with? Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. I've been waiting to play this damn game. I don't have the right console for it. I'm not even able to play it, even if I wanted to. So I got to get a whole new gaming console. I'm going to wait till after Christmas, because I've made the mistake of buying myself shit for Christmas before Christmas, and then people get me the same thing. So I tend to try not to buy myself stuff around the Christmas time. But I got to get myself a whole new gaming console, and I'll do it just for this goddamn game. I swear to you. It's just Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is the single greatest Dragon Ball Z video game of all time. But now, Sparking Zero is basically that exact same game with better graphics and way more playable characters. I have to play this fucking game. So, and I'm not a video game guy. Like, I used to love playing video games. I just don't have time, and I don't have the focus to just do video games. I will say this. Anybody who tells you that video games rot your brains, these are no. Video games are way better for you than double chunk chocolate cookie. That's way more entertaining. It's more entertaining. It's more valuable to your life and soul. And there's an essence of community, at least when it comes to video games. And like, it's actually kind of a skill to be able to like solve puzzles and just the hand-eye coordination and all that stuff that goes along with it. So anybody who tells you about video games being bad for you, go show them fucking the Costco guys and tell them, hey, at least I'm not watching this garbage. But yes, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. I must. Hey, for any of my family out there that's watching, you want to know what to get me for Christmas? Just throwing that out there. Just letting you know. I'm interested. I'd like that. Santa Claus, if you're listening out there, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero, and you might throw in an Xbox Series X or S or whatever it's on. No beer today. We're drinking. I'm hydrating. I'm pre-hydrating for the fights tonight. Because when it comes to fight night, bro, the drinks sure do flow. Well, let's go ahead and finish this episode off here. I haven't talked football for a minute. Man. Might as well just get this one out of there. Broncos lost to the Chiefs last week. Heartbreaking loss. Got a field goal blocked. I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. Definitely just the worst way to lose because we did everything right. You know what I mean? Bo Nix played a damn good game. He got Rookie of the Week even in a losing effort. That says a lot. And that's just what's so disappointing. It's like your defense played amazing. Your offense played amazing. Your time management was perfect. They were able to move the ball down to get into field goal range, take all the time off the clock, took all of Kansas City's timeouts away. And that's how it fucking ends. And I'm going to tell you right now, I had a bad gut feeling the entire time. Before the game and during that kick, I was like, something's going to happen. Like, I just had a bad feeling that this isn't going to go quite as smoothly as we are hoping it will. And that's exactly what happened. We were with a group of guys watching the game. A couple of the guys are like, we got this. We're going to win. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Knock on wood. It ain't over until the ball goes through those uprights and that clock has 0 on it. That's when we can celebrate. We don't do premature celebrations around here. Because look what happens when you do. You always got to be humble. And you got to be... You can't just assume anything. Especially in football and especially against the Kansas City Chiefs. We showed straight up why that is. So I was for sure the whole time like just praying and hoping and And that wasn't enough, apparently. I am superstitious when it comes to... You can't just be like, yes, this is for sure. It's a guarantee. Nothing is guaranteed in sports. Nothing. But otherwise, other than the Broncos, I still like our chances of making the playoffs. I think we're currently still the 7 seed. So we got a couple of winnable games coming up. Atlanta this week. Next week, I will be going to Las Vegas to see the Broncos-Raiders game. Excited about that. That's next week. And then after that, I think we have Cleveland, which is a winnable game. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for the stretch. And then we got the bye week. So 3 winnable games here in a row. Bye week. And then we'll just kind of see how it shakes out after that. Yep. Very excited for that. What else we got going on? And the Bills play the Chiefs this week. I'm hoping, man. Somebody's got to knock them off. I was so hoping it would be us because we would have been lauded as heroes if we had done so. But now it's got to be the Bills. Everybody's banking on the Bills. Everybody's putting all their trust and their faith in the Bills to be able to do this. And I'm one of those people. What else we got going on in NFL? Let me see. Any big news coming up? Did we get any big trades or anything, I guess? Not really, huh? Yeah. Just same old shit. NBA. Nuggets have been looking pretty good lately. Not to say I told you guys so, but Russell Westbrook, bro. He's exactly what I had hoped he would be. Super stoked about that. Love having some Russell Westbrook. And Bronny in the NBA got pushed down to the G League. That was something. Oh, here's what I'll say about the NBA. They're just now starting this in-game tournament shit. That I don't like this. Like, I hate this in-game tournament shit, if you ask me. It's supposed to be like the in-season tournament. And it's supposed to be like mid-season tournament, but it's like 10 weeks or 10 games into the season and they're already doing this shit. It fucks the schedule up. I don't like it, is what I'm saying. I'm not a fan of this in-season tournament thing. It was kind of fun last year, but the more and more I think about it, I'm just like, it's just a distraction. It's a gimmick, like the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight. Yeah, I can't get behind it. That's for sure. So, yep, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm don't really have a whole lot left to talk about, but I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the fights this weekend. Like I said, next week I'll be in Vegas, so I don't know. I might try and have a guest on, but we'll see what happens for next week's episode. I'll still have something coming out either way. It might not be about Vegas yet, so the Vegas one might be 2 weeks away, where I talk about the Vegas trip. I might just have Mac on, where we can actually talk about it together, because that would be pretty fun. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great week. Remember, you can't control what people think about you. You can't control what people say about you. That's their own prerogative. That's their own, people have their own perspective on things. People have their own ideas about who you are or what you're about. You can't control that. You can only control what you can control. So don't spend time worrying about what other people think about you. As long as you know who you are, that should be enough. But most importantly, don't forget, life's a garden. Dig it. Just gotta keep on